Hey everybody, it's Adrienne for WDW Round, and today we are going to rank the 5 value resorts from our least favorite to our most favorite. So starting at the very bottom is the All-Star Sports. And before I kind of get into why that's at the bottom, let's talk about the All-Stars just a little bit. The All-Star resorts are often lumped in together, and for good reason. They share a bus route. They're all kind of back to back to back. When you're driving to one, you kind of pass by all 3 to get there. And they all kind of share a theme, kind of, not really, they're different themes, but like the layouts are the same. If you've been to one, you're gonna kind of be able to figure out where the transportation is and where the food court is and all of that without a whole lot of having to think about it. So All-Star Sports, why do we put it at the bottom? We put it at the bottom basically because of the theming. If you might or might not know this about me, I'm not a huge sports person. Really, the only sports we ever have on in our house are football and NASCAR. That's about it. So, just the whole sports theme doesn't really excite me or my husband or my kids too much. So it's nothing necessarily that is worse about it when compared to the other All-Stars. It's just that the theming itself is just not our favorite. The next one up is All-Star Music. We stayed there a couple of years ago, I guess, when we did our overnight trip to Disney. And again, there's nothing really wrong with it, again, compared to the other 2 All-Stars. It's just that when I think about which do I prefer, music or movies, I prefer the movies theme to the music theme. Now, the Fantasia pool is adorable. The food court was fine. Everything about it was fine. The rooms were comfortable. They were what you would expect from a standard room in a value resort at Disney. Nothing necessarily bad to say about it. Just that, again, if I'm going to rank the All-Stars, it's the themes that are going to put one above the other. So if we said sports and then music, then movies is my favorite of the 3 All-Stars. And it does have something to it that kind of puts it over the top for me. For one, we stayed in the Toy Story section. So you had these large icons of Buzz and Woody and Bo Peep and just all of this cute little places to take photo ops. I think I have a picture of my kids in RC, the little race car. Super fun, loved exploring, tons of things to see, just really a lot of fun to stay in. But the thing that we loved the most was that All-Star Movies, I almost said music there, All-Star Movies has a secret menu, which I think is just always so fun, right? So when we stayed there, you go to one of the particular pods in the food court and you ask to see the secret menu from a cast member, and it has to be that specific pod. Nobody else will pretend to know what you're talking about. And they bring out this briefcase and one of those old school, I can't remember what you call it, but I played with it when I was a kid. You look through and you kind of see the different pictures of a story or something. And it shows all the different items that you can order from the secret menu. There were 3 when we were there. As far as I know, this is still going to be in operation whenever, pandemic life is over and behind us. But the 3 that we got were a poutine, so fries with gravy and fresh mozzarella. And let's see, what was the other one? Like a macaroni and cheese hot dog, which is just as weird as it sounds. And then the surprising favorite of the group was a cinnamon roll burger, like a bacon burger, but the bun was cinnamon rolls. Surprisingly good. It was weird, but it was good. So anyway, it's that, the theming, and then the kind of fun little side thing that kind of puts it at the top of the 3 All-Stars for us. So as we said, there's only 5 value resorts, and the other 2 are Art of Animation and Pop Century. And you could kind of go either way with these. They're both great resorts, but I put at number 2 Art of Animation. Again, a great resort. The theming is fantastic. You're looking at the kind of the story of animation. So you walk into the lobby and it has this beautiful chandelier with sketches and kind of the story of how things go from an idea to through the storyboard to the actual animated feature film. and it's just, you know, it's a beautiful resort to look at in that way, and the story that it tells. So I will not be saying anything necessarily bad about Art of Animation. We love it. And it has, like I said, 4 different themed sections. You have the Lion King, you have Finding Nemo, you have Cars, and you have the Little Mermaid rooms. Now, with the exception of the Little Mermaid rooms, the suites are actually family suites, which is fantastic. We stayed in a Cars one a few years ago. You had a pull-down Murphy bed, you had a pull-out couch bed, you had a separate bedroom, and you had 2 separate bathrooms plus a little kitchenette. Tons of room. Great option for families that are a little bit bigger, or for multiple parties maybe traveling together. However, those rooms are pretty pricey, especially at a value resort. A lot of times those rooms can, on a non-discount, can run between $400 and $500 a night, and that's just really pricey. You were looking at, that's what you can get more expensive than some moderate rooms, and up there into like deluxe room pricing without some of the deluxe amenities. And so that's one of the reasons that I put it at number 2. It's just a little bit pricier. And when Disney does release those room only discounts, it's never applied to the Little Mermaid rooms, so which are the standard studio rooms within Art of Animation. So you can't ever really get a super good deal when you're staying there like you can at some of the other values. The food court is fantastic. It's called Landscape of Flavors, and it's really good. My kid even actually like requested to go there one day for her birthday breakfast. So, you know, it's pod style. It was one of the first ones to introduce using like real plates, forks, knives, and think about kind of like environmentalism there at Disney. So that's a really fun fact. And it does have Skyliner access. Pop Century and Art of Animation are connected by a bridge. There's a really cool story about Art of Animation that we'll have to probably share at some point on the channel, kind of the history of it. But it connects to Pop Century over a bridge, over a waterway, and on that bridge is the Skyliner station. So the 2 resorts share the Skyliner access, which has been a huge boost to both of those resorts, honestly. So again, really the only reason I put it at number 2 is just because of the pricing. It's just a little bit pricier when you can get a lot of those same amenities by staying at Pop Century. So number 1 on the list then obviously is Pop Century. We love Pop Century. We have stayed there so many times. I can't even begin to tell you how many times, because it's my son's favorite. I have a full walkthrough, so I will link that here. And it is themed to different decades of American history. So you've got the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s with huge iconography related to that decade. If you want to have, the preferred section is the 60s section. So that gets you, it surrounds the main pool, and then also has the quickest access to the food and the bus station, as well as the Skyliner station. It's kind of a straight walk either way, just in opposite directions. And the pricing is never too bad. You're talking at peak times, you might get around $200 a night, but usually you look at $120 to $130, which is, in my opinion, reasonable, because you could spend that much staying off property easily. So it's got your standard rooms. Again, they've been refurbished within the past couple of years, so they look pretty good, actually. And now it has a pull-down Murphy bed as opposed to just 2 queen or 2 full beds, and that really, you can put it up after you're done using it, and it gives you more space within the room. So it's got refurbished studio rooms. It's got a pretty good food court. It's called Everything Pop Shop and Dining, and so it's kind of a combo gift shop food court. Little pods. You can mobile order now. They started that during since reopening from COVID, and it has helped us tremendously, because when you have little kids, it's kind of hard sometimes to split up and figure out what pod you need to go to order what food, and what kid wants what and you want what, and blah blah blah. It can be kind of confusing and difficult to kind of logistically manage. So the mobile ordering, again, has been a huge plus recently. And we did stay there just a few weeks ago, I think in February. We stayed at Pop. And it does offer those room-only discounts, which I think is why we picked it ultimately. It does offer those room-only discounts, which makes the value of it go up even more, in my opinion. So those are our rankings of the 5 Disney value resorts. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Do you stay value? Do you splurge a little and go moderate or deluxe? Do you, which one is your favorite? Where do you tend to go one way or the other? I have a lot of people that tell me that they like to stay at the AllStars because a room is a room is a room, and they just want the cheapest room because they're only going to be sleeping and showering in it anyway. But then there are other people that say we kind of hang out in the room, so we want the space, we want the amenities, we want this or that. So I'm always curious to hear your guys' thoughts. So let us know those down below in the comments. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much for watching. We will see y'all next time. Bye.